Long time no speak. I've got a new microphone thingy, so hopefully the sound quality is awesome. So, what's been going on? Well, a lot has been going on in my life recently, and I think I'm going to post some more updates on this channel under the guise of Forward Prefect, simply because it is easier for me to do, because I don't have to talk about who I am. I don't have to give you my name or my address. Hopefully there's nothing in the background that is overly offensive or revealing. I'm going through a divorce. I am going through this COVID pandemic actually quite happy, because I get to work from home 100% of the time, and that's perfect. I don't get out much, which is kind of a good excuse. I think COVID is a good excuse to stay not right here, like in front of this, in front of three screens, and buy silly things like this microphone for the video calls. Obviously, I'll treat myself to a nice new set of headphones. These are the Sony what is it, WH-1000 XM4s, noise cancelling headsets. Great when the kids are here and I can listen to something, or I can just drown out the noise around me, like the fan noise from the computer or the air conditioner. I am blessed with an air conditioner. Again, I've treated myself this year. It was a necessary investment, I think, into my future well-being, especially because I'm not in an air-conditioned office, and I love it. I absolutely blooming love it. So I can't fault that. My friends, they're awesome. Obviously, they're my friends, and I love them. I don't see them very much, but we did the virtual things, and that's cool. And I was pondering, with that working so well, especially like things like we've got something here called Geek Night, which is an awesome kind of get together and kind of series of talks every 3 months, and now it's finally online. We've been talking about this for ages, and now COVID kind of forced that decision, and I'm grateful for it, because it's great. It's a very different kind of environment for somebody who has to jump over their own shadow, perhaps, and does a good job. I think people always say, "Oh, you're so bubbly and social and lovely." It's like, yeah, it just, I have to take a really deep breath, and I have to really push myself to be braver and go out there and do it. And it's so much easier being at home in front of the screen, and you can still engage, and you can still be social, and you can still be funny, and you can do all of the things, but more so, and with less issues, I guess. So, do I miss the pizza? Yes, I do. Do I miss hundreds of people in a room and people trying to make conversation and all the social stuff? Not so much. But I digress. Dating. So I've been looking at dating, and I'm kind of slowly finding my feet, and again jumping over my own shadow, kind of talking to people. And I found this site. I was talking to my counselor about this, my therapist, my best kind of objective kind of talk buddy. I don't want to say friend, because it's different. It's a professional service, and I welcome having that sounding board every week. Is really, really helpful. And it really helped me through. It helps me through the divorce, and it helps me through some other stuff. Relationships being one of them. And I signed up with this site, which is, I'm vegetarian. I'm also trying to be more vegan. I'm very much about nature and saving the planet, and not the cheerleader, hero's reference. So I'm very eco-minded. I'm very alternative. I grew up with a mother who's effectively a I was born and raised in a very esoteric kind of home, which is great. Just for me, something when I was like in my teenage years, and especially once I came to England, it was like, I'm a man of science, not of faith, and I'm not a spiritual person. And in fact, this critical thinking skill developed over time to the point where I ran events. That was interesting, and I'm very much focused on understanding the world around me, and using the scientific method to do that is a great kind of tool set. It's not a belief system. You can't believe in evidence. It's like, no, there is evidence, you know. If you boil it down to reality, different tangent, but if you look at it, if you look at the facts, if you look at your test setups, if you understand how to form a hypothesis and test it and construct kind of or develop a theory, what that means is very different to a lot of people who don't have those skills and don't have that understanding because maybe their parents never taught them. School certainly struggling to kind of teach people basic skills. And I think scientific knowledge, or the way to apply the scientific method, is a basic skill that should be taught more, same as digital. But anyway, again, a different tangent. So dating, I'm on this eco singles kind of dating side, and I thought, sod it, you know, on OkCupid, on Bumble, and all of these sites, I've been trying to hold back and not be all of myself, perhaps. So in this case, I just said, sod it, I'm going to tell people I've got ASD and I'm okay with it. It doesn't define me. You know, read into that what you will. If you have a preconceived notion that says, oh no, not ASD, oh god, I don't want a boyfriend like that, great, move along. We don't even need to talk. If you say, oh, don't really know what that is, but you know, I know a little bit about it, and maybe they appreciate the frankness, and that is a fundamental part of me. I'm very much about the detail, and I'm quite full on. When I give myself into a relationship, I really give myself into a relationship. And the last relationship I had kind of decided to go different ways because for her it was too much. It was too much. And she said, you know, for somebody else who loves the attention and the little things, and you know, it's great. For her, not so much. So fair enough. Anyway, I'm on this dating site and I'm putting my best foot forward. And sadly, 90% of the people that view my profile are from overseas, so it's not going well. Also, there's a lot of them who are, you know, if I tick you've got all these filters that you can, you know, your ideal kind of mate, and when I'm very specific, I love the fact that they have a website where that's possible and you can do it, and it's not all about, you know, swipe left or right, and it's all about sex and music and rock and roll. But this is more about things that are more meaningful, perhaps, at least to me. You know, I'm not discriminating or saying that your love for music and rock and roll, for that matter, is not wrong. I'm not judging it. I'm just saying for me it's different. And the more, you know, fine-grained I go, the less potential mates I find in that system. In fact, I don't find any mates, at least not in this country, who match the description of somebody who's scientifically minded, has got these critical thinking skills, loves using the scientific method to understand the world around them, is kind and passionate and likes sex, and also likes just the cuddling, and is on an equal level, and a feminist. And you know, I mean, is my bar too high? I don't know. Is there a dating site that's perfect for me? Probably not. Do I find it difficult to start a conversation? Yeah, it's gotten easier, but I don't think that's the hindrance. I think it's really difficult to do this remotely, but it's also very beneficial being able to do it remotely. Cheers. I would love to do it remotely, the dating, that is, because I understand that there's a lot of hesitation for women, especially, still, you know, with people being absolute dicks and they're being really horrible, and you know, there's no shortage of misogynist, chauvinistic pricks out there. So I can understand why women would find it more beneficial, and I find it more beneficial because I can't pick up on those little things anyway during the conversation. And if I have to lead the conversation with, oh, by the way, you know, I take everything that you say literal, and I might struggle. Yeah, having said that, I went on an actual date last year, and I was really, really good. And sadly, it was kind of the wrong time because she started a new job that was all consuming, and there just wasn't the time to have a relationship, even though she wanted one, and that was really sad. So, and there were some health issues as well that played into that. So, anywho, full on didn't work out, but we had a really nice day. They were really like, I basically went into it saying, no, I'm not going to change. I'm not going to be mindful of this ASD thing. I'm just going to be myself, and if I feel myself running away with myself or going off on a tangent, as I so often do, take a deep breath and stop. And that worked really well. And she said thank you for having a really pleasant date, and that was perfect. So I can do it. I'll prove that to myself. So I don't know, if you know somebody who's single and interested in building a better world, you know, what's my goal? Let's leave with that, because I think I'm going to post this up here rather than on my personal blog, because this way is a little bit privacy friendly. I guess I can assume this persona, and yes, people know who I am. Some people might watch this and know who I am. Please, shh, it's a secret. Everybody else on the wider internet doesn't know who I am, doesn't need to know who I am and where I live, so that's fine. My plan for the next 3 years is to obviously finish the divorce properly, and I might end up in the house that I co-own, or might not. Either way, my ultimate goal, my plan A, is to have an earthship, so have a couple of acres or a few acres of land, and become wait for it, carbon farmer. It's a thing I just made up, but it might be a thing if you Google it. Don't Google it, use DuckDuckGo, but you know what I mean. I want to capture, ideally, as much carbon as my hometown here releases in a year. As a steep goal, because I have no idea how much carbon we put up or out, and whether there are methods to do that using, I don't know, the new ways of doing things with peat and everything else. So I don't know. Something to look into, but that's the goal. And I want to build an airship and live self-sufficiently and basically kiss the 9 to 5 goodbye. So that's what I want to do, and ideally I find somebody to go on that journey with me. And you know, just going to leave you with the thought that the world sucks at the moment. It's just an incredibly challenging time out there. It is absolute madness, and every time I don't do social media, you know, I don't really do news. I do a little bit of news with my tea in the morning, but I don't really consume as much as I used to, and that's better for my mental health for sure. But still, there's stuff, and I'm, you know, Arctic or Siberia being on fire, and you know, perhaps this is the last century of the human race on this planet. Who knows? But I want to at least make a positive impact. I would love the idea of not having to worry about financial and material gains, and being able to teach people some skills and raise my kids and have a home for them, that no matter what they do, and hopefully we can still build that overland kind of tiny house expeditionary thing, and they can take that and explore the world safely, and they always have that home base, and I have a home base where I can just relax, you know, and I don't have to worry about the daily grind kind of thing. So that's it. Nearly up to 15 minutes. Gosh, that was a fun summary, wasn't it? I haven't even opened the can of worms that is my divorce, but I shan't, because that would be unfair. Sufficient to say that it's challenging, because I try to do the right thing and the other person isn't really engaging at all in negotiating. So it takes two to tango, it takes two to be in a relationship. I shouldn't really be surprised that this is the way it is. It's just, yeah. Be nice, be happy, be safe, stay indoors, and see you again soon.